Oh shit, serious mood. Several hours passed. Oh crap. Are we like getting to the nighttime of this first day or something? It seemed the sun was getting ready to set. Are we finally gonna get some sleep? Have we been up all day without sleeping? I would hope we slept at some point, because seriously, I'd be really freaking tired by this point. Deep in the ocean, our sense of time was disappearing. Checking my watch was the only way that I knew it was the evening. At least you have a watch. What if you're confined with no way of checking the time? That'd be brutal. Nothing changed in Lemur. No one had come to pay us a visit. But things hadn't gotten worse. Right now, there was no sign of flooding or impending collapse. Okay. We had just been passing the time as we saw fit. And that all changes tomorrow when somebody dies. That could actually be interesting. If you have to pass enough time and make enough choices, and then a couple days in somebody gets killed by somebody else, and the reason is different depending on your playthrough. I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're going to do, but that's just an interesting concept. You know, spend time with a bunch of characters and have one of them, you know, turn on you based on your actions and choices, and one of them get killed based on your actions and choices. Maybe. Again, I'm not sure if that's where they're going to go, but it would be interesting. It would also give replayability if there's a different killer depending on stuff, but yeah. For now, we had all forgotten about not being able to escape. I was in the rest area. I sat on the bench and looked at the blooming flowers without really seeing them. There was no one else around. We were going to meet again at 7. Until then, we had free time. I didn't check the time. I'm not sure what time it is now. I was thinking about Sora. Oh. The revealing of what she really was. It's not that big of a deal. Sora's real identity. Aha! You're thinking about your real identity. Right. Because, I mean, in truth, knowing that Sora's an AI doesn't change... Well, it actually changes quite a bit about her, but it doesn't change much about, really, the core. Well, actually, you could argue the core is... It doesn't change how she's going to act to you. That's not going to change just because we know that she's an AI now. What could change, though, is if you know your memories, you could potentially change how you act. So, arguably, your core, finding your memories, could be a more important revelation. In fact, it probably will be, than just finding out someone who we thought was a real person's an AI. Because ultimately, they still are who they are. I mean, but yeah. AI, artificial intelligence, program, a virtual image. Sora didn't really exist. No, she definitely existed. She's just not a human being. She's a virtual... She exists. The program of Sora is a real program. It's not like that was made up. It's real. She's really there. Her image is really being projected there, and it's using a real artificial intelligence. That's not fake. I don't like it when people talk like that. She really does exist. She's just not a human. She's a computer program, which, if you want to say that means, you know, she's not a real person, sure, but she's real. In other words, Sora wasn't a person. Well, yes. Sora clearly had a will of her own. That's what they call artificial intelligence. She could think and act for herself. I knew that much. But with my limited knowledge, everything other than that was beyond me. There was lots of things that I couldn't know. I looked down. The floor was covered with a layer of water, so I saw my reflection, trying to find the memories, but they weren't coming to me, right? Lights in the ceiling were reflected in the water. It was like the cold light of the moon. I poked my finger into the water. Plop! The water rippled and the surface shook. The light in the water fragmented into disarray, finally returning to its original shapes. And yet even still, I didn't remember any of my memories. As much as I mess up the water, it always comes back to the way it was. For some reason, when my memories get messed up, they're still not coming back, damn it! I reached into the water trying to grab the light. But I could only grab a little seawater. I couldn't touch the light. I tried again and again, but I couldn't get my hand on the moon. Because it's only a reflection, not what's really there. Like how you can't actually touch Sora. And similarly, even if you have fragments of your memory, you know, you're trying to get them, maybe sometimes they're not really there in some cases. Like you're trying to remember things that never actually happened. And that's how you can trick yourself. And that's how you can delude yourself into going into lunacy. Like, in a way, like what you said. You try too much to think something's real that isn't there, you might start believing it even if it isn't really true. It becomes true to you. So, it all connects. Oh shit!
どこからお話ししたらよろしいでしょうか?
So where should I start explaining? I'm sorry, what? I wish you'd start with the basic stuff. What? Sora was sitting next to me. Okay, apparently. At least that's how it appeared to me. Her image is being projected next to me. I decided to seek out an explanation directly from Sora. Why? I already understand everything. What exactly was Sora? It might have been rude asking her outright like this, but I thought that it would be ruder to continue along without really knowing.
わかりました。RSD についてでしたね。
I see. So we were talking about RSD, right? Sure, what does that stand for? Yeah. It might be something that you really don't want to talk about.
それはどうしてですか?
Why would that be? Because it's personal? She probably doesn't care. And also she seems like a nice person, so I mean, who cares? Well, you're not a person, you're Sora, so asking about systems and stuff, it might be kind of personal. Exactly, what does she care? As you said, she's not a person, how could she be personal? I don't really know how to say it. Yeah, you're definitely worth making fun of for that. I just thought it might be like someone was peeking inside you and kind of unpleasant. The broken explanation brought a soft smile to Sora's face. You don't have to worry about that. What did you just say? I'm Sora. So I am what I am. Exactly. I am all of me. For example, by explaining about what I am, it is a way for you to better understand me. Exactly. I squeezed my hand shut. Squeeze your mouth shut, more like it. Shut the fuck up. Put boot in mouth. Of course, I wasn't holding anything. Actually, I just explained all this to Takeshi. Well, I mean, maybe he needs the explanation, but I don't. Gosh. Huh? To Takeshi? I get it. That's why the reason why me and Takeshi, why neither of us were allowed to know, was because we're both main characters, so we both got to get shot. So everybody else gets to know about us, of course. There's probably gonna be a few other things that other characters know, but just us two don't. But yes. Okay. Sora gently put her hand on her boobies. Her virtual boobies. I'm different from everyone else. But I want to be the same. What, you want a real body? You want to steal my body? That ain't happening. We're not doing any FNAF shit. That is why I want everyone to know about me. Saying that, Sora looked at me and slightly dropped her eyes. I felt like pieces of the puzzle scattered on the floor of my mind were about to fall into place. So wait, you want to be the same? I mean, does that mean you want to like steal somebody's body, or maybe you want a robot body built so you can use it? Even then you won't fully be the same. You're not trying to hijack a body, are you? I've seen plots like this in sci-fi. Anyone who wants to hijack a body is never a good person. I mean, maybe they have good intentions of some kind, but ultimately, you're stealing a body is stealing a body. And other than that, there's no way to really try to be fully like us, so yeah. As if enticed by her grin, I became quiet. Shall I start with an explanation of RSD? Sure, what are the initials? Concentrated on what she was saying, so as to not miss anything. She placed both of her hands on her boobs, again. And I only see one hand on her boobs. Shonen, can you see me? Yes. I see you. But I'm not looking at you right now, I'm looking at you. I am standing right next to you. You're sure? Well, I don't know if you were sure or not, but I'm sure. I'm positive. But suddenly Sora faced me and reached out toward me. And then, whoa! Her hand just phased through me. Sora's hand slipped without resistance into my chest. Oh god, this is getting kinky. Actually, I tried to grasp her arms, only my hands met with nothing. Hands were in front of my chest, but there was nothing there. Yes. So, you are seeing me. However, I am not right next to you. Well, your projection is, correct? But no, not really, because it's being the lights are going into my retinas, and that's what's giving me the illusion that you're right there. So you're not actually being projected there. You're tricking my mind into thinking you are, which isn't quite the same thing. Saying this, Sora pulled her head back. Oh, finally! I was waiting for this. RSD stands for Retinal Scanning Display. Okay, yeah, retinal for the retina in the eye, scanning display. Okay, so yeah, you scan my retina and display the image, but you're not actually displaying the image just there. You're just displaying it based on the eye scan. So you're doing that for everyone at the same time. That seems a bit more complicated than just flashing an image, doesn't it? I guess that's the best way to make it realistic looking. I guess that's why it's futuristic technology. The display device is not actually a display. Rather, a weak laser is aimed at the retina. Everybody's retina at once, I guess. Retina, you mean my eye? Yes. In the ceiling of each room and corridor and semiconductor are semiconductor laser output devices. So, the image is being directly reflected on your retina. Gotcha. Image. Yes, my image. I beat you to the punch. Directly on my retina. Holographic screens typically allow for the objects behind them to be visible. This system uses the eyeball as a virtual screen and continually sends an image synthesized with the background scenery. That is fucking hardcore futuristic. Jeez, seems like a waste of money, but maybe you found a cheap way to make it work. Well, what about your voice? That's being beamed just... Oh yeah, but it's... Oh, okay. That's gonna be some kind of mind trick, because we think that the voice is coming from her direction. But it must just be beamed into our ears in a way that... God, you're fucking with our heads. Sounds like your voice is coming from where your mouth appears. Have you ever heard 3D sound? Explain. 3D sound? You ever listen to music using headphones? Actually, I personally hate using headphones. That's why my LPs, when I recorded them, I always have to sync the music that comes out of the game or whatever with the music that comes out with my actual microphone, because it's going to pick up some of the music. Because I'm not going to have it super quiet. I know some people do that. I don't want the music to be quiet, so I just sync up the music that comes out with the music from the game, which is kind of tedious, but I prefer that to wearing headphones. I fucking hate headphones. But at least last time I wore them, which was a while ago, so maybe I should try it again. It's been a while, but I do not like headphones. I have done it in the past. It's been a while, but yes, I understand the concept. Probably, but I can't remember, so I don't know for sure. Ah, that's right. Sorry about that. Now you're the one getting too personal. To answer my own question, most people hear sound as if it is reverberating inside the rear center of their head. Okay. Inside their head. I tried to visualize what she meant. A melody playing in my mind. I could get a vague sense of what she said. Yeah, I think I kind of see what you mean. Yeah, because the headphones, it goes directly into your ears and avoids going outwards, kind of, sort of. I think I've probably heard something like that before. The sound's not actually coming from inside your head. No, it's coming from the earbuds. Question mark? Suppose not. But if you could apply this knowledge and adjust the volume from the left and the right to accurately stimulate this reverberating sound, then you could create an illusion that a sound was coming from any direction, above or below, left or right. Oh, is that why we have to keep the earbuds in? Because normally when we take the earbuds out, we hear people with the funny voices. But in your case, it's to actually hear you at all. That's how we concentrate you to be right there with the earbuds we have. And if we didn't have them in, then you'd just be coming from the ceiling or something, right? Or maybe we couldn't even hear you at all. And that's how Takeshi so easily missed what Sora was saying. He probably thought that he was just paying too much attention to the chipmunk, which is why he didn't notice what she said. But really, he took his ear things out, which means he couldn't hear at all, possibly. I see. Oh, so that would be the voice converters. I still had both of them in my ears. I removed them. They were about the size of my little finger. So what happens? In front of me, Sora's mouth moves soundlessly. Aha! So we hear no sound coming from her. Gotcha. It was like I couldn't hear her voice. But that wasn't all. Then her image started to get a little fuzzy. Oh! Wait a second. So, do the ear things work as kind of like a homing signal? Like you have the ear things on, and that shows where the retina display should point onto your eyes, and if you take them out, they won't be able to pinpoint where you are? Possibly. That's interesting. Huh? And replace the voice converters. Sora turned to normal. Aha! The image's position is based on the location of the voice converters. That's interesting. So, but it's the same for, like, we all see you in the same place, everybody who has them. And you walk around sometimes. That's so fucking complex, holy shit. Like the programming that would go into that, just imagining that kind of thing. Wow. Wherever you stand, in whichever direction you face, Limich is constantly using sensors around the complex that monitor the position of the voice converter to the millimeter. Wow! So that when I am 60 feet behind you, if my image is 60 feet behind you, my voice will sound as if I am exactly 60 feet behind you. That's complicated. That sounds like the kind of thing that you do that if you were trying to keep this a secret from everyone, but you're not. You're making this public knowledge. Although, because I mean, sometimes you might want to like announce it to everybody around you, right? I'm sure you have a way of doing that. Well, I guess the intercom, but do you have a easy way of doing? I don't know. Can you access the intercom without actually being at the intercom? I wonder. Okay. When I am to the right, it sounds to the right. When to the left, it sounds to the left. Gotcha. I am under you, it sounds under me. You want to get giggity? Under. When you're under. Virtual sex? I mean, if you. Well, okay. If you work a little bit on, you know, maybe being able to feel you a little bit, just a little bit, then maybe I could try that. But for now, it seems that seems a little too weird for me. What? Why are you blushing? I mean, okay, you're an artificial intelligence, you have a real personality. I guess you really think about, oh, so maybe I really can be with the program. I mean, could I get some kind of, is that theoretically possible? Or is that getting too personal? Is it theoretically possible for us to do it with your projection? Would you get any enjoyment out of that? Is that something you would enjoy? These are theoretical questions, not actually asking them. Just wondering about the what if. Anyway, that's how it works. Do you understand? One more question. Would you get pleasure for this? I'd legit ask that. I'd be really curious. And try to face a little to the left. So one more theoretical question. Because I'm very legitimately curious about that. Anyways, try to face a little to the left. I faced to the left as she said. Sora stood and moved around to my right. Okay. Just a moment ago, I said that Lima is constantly monitoring your position and direction you're facing. What if I take out my earbuds and swap ears? Would you suddenly warp to being in front of me? At the same time, Lima is also monitoring the position of your eyeballs. Gotcha, of course they are. Even if you move, I still appear in the same place. Of course. Yeah, oh, right! Whoa! Whoa, that's a bit... Whoo! Yeah, even if you move, I still... Okay. But not only would you have to be monitoring the eyeballs, you have to be monitoring the motions of the people. Wow!
そう見えるような画像をレミがスキャンしているということです。
This means that Lima scans the image on your eye in this way. This is the kind of thing where it's like, is this even theoretically doable in real life? Maybe. Technology is always advancing, so this is something we might reach eventually, but this seems way futuristic. Very complicated. A very complicated thing that they could probably replace if they just hired a good person to do the job. Maybe they had problem with employees in the past. They're like, fuck it, let's make this complex-ass robot. Doesn't that take a lot of employees to actually work on a program this hard? Oh shit. Well, it's probably better than getting a good guide. What? You can be made to suddenly disappear, reappear in another place?
見たいですか?
Do you want to see it? Yes! What? No! Yes! Yes, I do! Fuck you! Shonen! I don't want to pass. I'm not saying that. Imagine Sora disappearing and fleeting around here and there. I want to see that. That would be awesome. It's kind of like a ghost. Oh! It comes back! You see, that's what I was thinking. So, I think... Yeah, and she can turn on and off in a moment. I think that's what it is. Oh, that might... Would that be a bit too simple? By the way, if you're new to my Let's Plays, everything is too simple until it's... not always. But... I mean, it's just because this feels like a big deal, right? Whatever's going on with him that's fucking with his mind, this girl that keeps appearing. So there could be more to it than that. It's just what part of the reveal are they saving? Because this could be all it is. I mean, that's still kind of cool. If it turns out, oh yeah, the thing he's seeing, it would make sense how the number is flickering from 5 to 6 to 7. That would be an explanation. And so he'd be seeing the girl, who's doing that, how they're doing that, why they're doing that, we don't know. And so maybe that's where the big twist is going to come in, which is why this might be all it is, but it also might not be. Maybe this is a red herring, and it's actually something more complicated. You see, I've seen a lot of plots and a lot of twists and a lot of things, so a lot of the time I'll constantly be asking myself, is this good game design or bad game design? Is this too simple? Or is this, am I just thinking it's too simple because I'm used to this? I don't know. But yes, I second guess myself a lot. Do I like this twist? I think I do. No, I know when I like something. It's just when I'm in the middle that I have to think about it. Like, is this good? Is this bad? But, I mean, I know when I definitely like something. I know when I definitely hate something. But when it's in the middle, I have to really ask myself, is this me being too hard on it? Or is it legit bad? But anyways.
よく言われます.
Yes, I hear that a lot. Ghosts, aha! You! Knock you! I brought up the ghost possibility. You didn't even consider this? And you knew about it? For shame! I gotta talk to her about that again.
同じ場所にいて
Being in the same place and looking at the same thing, only some people can see it and some people can't. That's true, because if they don't have their ear things in, they won't see it, Pat. It's interesting. But nobody else seems to see her or hear her except for me. Which means there has to be something... Okay, and she has a way of turning it off and on without my wanting to. So there's gotta be something I have with me. Either they're honing in on my specific earbuds, or I have something specific else other than earbuds that they're honing in on to project that image, and they're only doing it for specifically me. I should ask that. These are questions you need to know. Can you, like, if you wanted to, would you be able to aim it on a certain person and ignore the earphones of other people? Is that a thing? I have to ask. I have to know these things. I've never seen one. If ghosts really do exist, they'd be like me, probably. I imagine they exist much the way that I do. That's pretty awesome. Now I get it. Oh, you mean you get what's going on with your head? There's something that bothers me. What is that? Sora, so you can't be in more than one place at a time. For example, you couldn't be in one room talking to me and another talking with Maya? Theoretically, it's possible. Aha, Yeah. I mean, there's no reason for it to not be possible. I mean, you don't want to confuse people, You want to keep things simple, but, you know, maybe if you're low on staff, as you said you are, sometimes you'll have one in the one half of the facility and another in the other half facility or something. But then your AI would just have to, like, would you multitask or would you, like, split yourself up? Kinda, I'm not sure. Would you perform the shadow clone jutsu? However, the way that I am designed, I can't do that. Interesting. The way that you're designed. But another program, this could be like the meat of, you know, solving certain mysteries in this game, and that's, has me intrigued. Why not? I imagine it's to help maintain an image of reality for visitors, indeed. So there's only one Sora in the world. I see. Interesting. Very interesting. So one thing I just thought of is, what if one of the other characters is also a projection? Well, I don't think this is true, but theoretically, just spouting stuff on my head, if one of the other characters was a projection, and I'm not talking about the girl in my head, maybe like this is the initial plot twist, and that would be the later plot twist, and it would be like, maybe they are being in multiple places at once, and that would be a way they could get away with murder or something. Or I'm just thinking about different scenarios now that could use this, and anyways. With that kind of setting, visitors would get confused. I don't think it would be that bad if you had like one of you in the like one part and the other you completely far away in the other part. I don't think it would be that bad to do that, but yeah, I get it. That, and it was the policy of my designer. Who designed you? Your last name, I recognize your last name. Where does it come from? Is it you? Does it come from you, or does it come from someone else? Because I don't think it's supposed to be yours. I think I heard it somewhere else. The policy of my design was to create me as a character with an independent personality. At first I thought, oh, what if her creator is Yu's father? But I'm like, wait, no, that's not true, because Yu's last name starts with a T, I believe, but meh. That reminds me, I've heard the same thing about the United Land characters. Oh, interesting. And I don't know what the United Land characters are. Huh. There's only one of each character in the park. What is United Land? Is that referencing... Oh, right. There's probably going to be a couple references in this game to, there are some other numbered games that aren't, like... Because other than Ever 17, there's also what? There's Remember something, Never something, and I want to say there's some other somethings as well. There's a few of them. But, and I'm pretty sure this is, what, the second one? I think this is the second one. The first one was Never. I think the first one was Never. Apparently this has some references to it, but for the most part, you don't have to play that one to play this one or anything. As far as I know. However, when they're talking about stuff like, oh, each of the United Land or something, that could be referring to, like, Never. Because Never came before this, and I know there's some references, so possibly. Anyways. Like in a story, there can't be any one character in two places at the same time. Well, except for in a story like this, where you've just outlined how it will be possible for a character to be in two places using this kind of projection thing. You've just made it a possibility, and that's what's neat about it. You're saying that it can't happen, but you've just opened up the possibility for it to happen, which is what makes it neat. And now that you have, I really hope you use that. I really hope you make good on the fact that that's a thing you can do now. Granted, just because you make something a possibility doesn't mean you do it every time, because at a certain point, it becomes too predictable. If, like, oh, we said we can do something, so we're gonna do it. If you do that with everything, then it becomes a bit too predictable that you're gonna do it eventually. But, if you introduce, like, a lot of things like that, and you can, like, pick and choose some of them to do, I suppose, but still, when you introduce a neat concept like this, it's a shame to not follow through on it. So I hope at some point we do see an example of, oh, there's 2 or 3 at the same time. Either in some way to help us, or to hurt us, whichever the case. Very curious. The time for our gathering was getting near, so Sora and I headed to the conference room. It seemed strange that Sora, who could teleport anywhere instantly, was walking. Yep. Maybe she was doing it to humor me. I was wondering about the laser retina scan. So if I were in a place that the laser couldn't reach, then I couldn't see you?
もちろんそうです。
Of course not. But
出力装置は館内のすべて
scanning devices are located in every room of the complex.
光線を
And there are mirrors embedded in the walls, ceilings, and floors to reflect the images. So as long as you stay in Lemur, you'll be able to see me.
ほとんどどこにいても私の姿を
Almost no matter where you are,
見せることは可能
I can be
です。
displayed. Almost. She said almost, so there are some blind spots? Mm-hmm.
そういう設定になっています。
That's the way it's designed. You said almost. I think that means there are at least a couple, like maybe even one or two blind spots somewhere. That could be interesting to explore.
けれど致命的な欠点が一つだけあります。
One major flaw, oh shit. But before you tell me, we get interrupted by someone and I don't find out for a while, is that right? I'm just guessing. Flaw?
私は
I?
誰かに見られることによって初めて具現化することができるのです。
I'm only seen when someone looks at me. Oh. Can you still be heard? No, but you can still be heard even when I'm not looking at you, right? Well... Wait. That's how everyone is. You can only be seen when someone looks at you, right? Or do you mean like... Can you see them through the mirror, or... I'm confused. What?
誰も私のことを見ていなければ私は存在しないも同然ということです。
I mean that I cease to exist when no one is looking at me. Well, yeah, you're projected based on people with their retina scanners, so if nobody's having a retina being scanned, you would have no need to be formed here. But your consciousness will still exist wherever your database is, so it's not entirely true.
例えば
But I understand your
ここにい
plight.
る5人全員
For example, if the five of you here all close your eyes at once, you'd still be there. You can still, like, I'd still be able to hear your voice, right? Although, wait, no, it's connected, right? If I take out the things, they can't lock onto me, so I start to lose sight on her. So if I close my sight, then I also close my hearing? Is that possible? That seems like a big flaw.
その瞬間私の姿はどこにも存在しなくなってし
At
ま
that
う。
moment, I would cease to exist. I mean, yeah, okay, it is based on the eyes, though, so if we all... True. If we all closed our eyes, it wouldn't be scanning anything, which means she wouldn't be able to project herself, which means there would be no voice to even be heard. So then we wouldn't even be able to hear a voice. That's true. That's interesting. Yeah. Casually held hand up in front of my eye. Held a hand up. Covered my view forward and looked down near my feet. There was no sign of Sora next to me. It was as if she had vanished, or never been there in the first place. Oh, I see. Oh, you were holding a hand up in front of your eyes, and like squinting down towards where her feet would be. I get it. Because as long as you block the scanners, she won't appear there. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. So even if you're looking at her, she won't be there unless you're letting the scanners see your eyes. If the scanners can't meet your eyes, then even if you can potentially look at her without the scanners hitting your eyes, she won't be there. That's interesting. Surprised, I moved my hand, Sora appeared in the corridor. The outline of Sora's sandals blurred dimly in the water.
誰かが私を見る。
Someone has to see me.
その行為があって初めて私は姿を現すこと。
I have to be seen in order to exist. That's an interesting dilemma. That's kind of getting metaphorical, I think.
視線。
Vision.
誰かの視点が私を作る。
Someone's eyes actually create me. And what if the world went blind? There you go. That's why revenge is wrong. Because if you keep doing revenge, I drive this world blind, and then there'll be no Sora. So you're killing Sora. Is that what you want? Anytime you're any of you are good, like viewers and people out there, like if you're gonna have revenge, first ask yourself: do you want to kill Sora when you're killing the person you're killing at the same time, or whatever you're doing in terms of payback, even if it's drawing on someone's face because they were snoring when you were trying to sleep? That's a form of revenge, by the way. Are you trying to kill Sora? Because revenge drives the world blind, which means you'd be killing Sora. So don't fucking do that unless you want to kill Sora. Unless you want to kill Sora, in which case, how dare you? Anyways.
少年さん、
Shonen-san, yes.
あなたが目を閉じた時、私 私は消えてなくなるのです。
When you close your eyes, they disappear. Uh-huh. Eventually, we reached the conference room. Sora's face was one big smile. But somewhere in her smile seemed a hint of sadness. She does think. She does feel. She's a person, too. You know, she's not a human. She's a person. At least it appeared that way to me.